The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the August 5th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to Steve at TFNN.com. Send it off early, please. And in that subject heading, please put radio show question. Now, of course, if you're inside our Tigers Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day with markets moving to the downside. You got the Dow trading down 137 points, S&P 27. 96 for the NASDAQ 100, 3 for the Russell. The transports are up 7 points, 8 points now. Semis are down 78. NASDAQ's off 80. You got gold trading up $15 at 34.41. Silver's up 46 cents at 37.79. Gold's off nearly, not gold dust. Light sweet crude back nearly a buck, trading at 65.33. Natural gas up 6 pennies. On my screen right now, we've got the NQ out here. You can see on the daily time frame, prices pulled back to test the bottom of its daily profile. The bottom of that profile level is at the 23,162 mark. You should also notice on the very right-hand side, we have a slightly bearish structured weekly profile that formed last week. So there's another support level out there that is muy importante, and that is at 22,478. In fact, I would consider that to be perhaps the most important profile level support for the NQ, not the daily, so to speak, but certainly on a weekly time frame. For the daily, the important level is going to be that TD9 count breakout level, which on Friday was tested and it held. We bounced off of that, got back inside its profile yesterday. And that's at 22,803. So I'd say real support on the NQ is between 22,478 to 22,803. Let's, I don't know what I have, if I've got the ES or the NQ here, but let's go find out. Regardless of what it is, it's the ES Mini. So let's take a look at the ES Mini. We'll finish off, take a look at the NQ out there. Just intraday, what do we see that's going on out here? So the topping pattern that I see on the ES Mini, and there's several along the bottom panel out here. But if we take a look at the 60-minute time frame chart, Basil probably mentioned, if he was looking at the 60-minute chart, he would have mentioned that this made a wave 7 top. It also was a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, and that formed at 4 o'clock in the morning out there. And in order to negate that signal, in other words, if we're going to move higher, you need to see price close above 63.7750. So that's the upside target to the day. I'm not saying price is going to go hit that or not. I'm just saying that's the upside price target. If price closes above that, the rally would continue. If we take a look at that wave 7 Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there, we can see that price found support at the bottom of its profile. So there's our key level of support. That's at 323.25. Now, I don't have any kind of bottom patterns. I don't think that I do. I mean, I have to go back and see if there's some kind of A to B equals CD pattern, for example, on this 15-minute time frame chart. Yeah, I'd say not really. So there's no A to B. I mean, I don't know if that's a 0.786 retracement or not, but if it were to be an A to B equals CD to the downside, then you've got a Gartley buy pattern that formed as we came on the air at 11 o'clock. I don't have the tool with this I don't have the tool right now to easily identify that retracement. If you get it beyond a 0.786 retracement, it's really not an A to B equals CD pattern. That's what Stevie says. What else is of value up here? I'd have to say not much else, So we've got now, if price closes below that 16-minute profile support level, that's going to bring 62.9825 into play. If I did mention that, that's what it would do. Let's go take a look at the NQ. Let's do the multi-time frame charts here as well. We already looked at the daily. We'll look at all the daily equity future contracts, see if the new profiles that they are attempting to form are still present out there. With regard to the NQ, come on, just populate, would you? Quickly here. So in the NQ, and we're just trying to identify where is that key level of support. I'd have to say it's really the bottom of the daily profile. If we look at the 60-minute time frame chart, it has a Rhodes momentum indicator top, but you can see it's trading below profile support. Its next level of support is 22,978. So no levels of support that I see here other than... Oh, here we go. You have a 240-minute, a 4-hour time frame chart. This has a confirmed TD9 count top. So this is what we're going with here. And we can see that price right now basically got down almost to the top of its profile. The top of the profile is 23,120. We got down to a low of 23,138. So 23,120 is a key level of support that I would be watching during the day. If price were to close below that, it would signal a move towards either 22,844 to 22,913. That's the buy zone on a 4-hour time frame chart for the NQ, or its breakout level, which is slightly above that at 22,947. Yeah, that's so those would be the parameters for the ES and the NQ. Now let's simply switch back, take a look at the daily equity future contracts. Here you'll see that new profile for the ES Mini. Now, the interesting thing about this profile, if it in fact does take hold today, is this profile is wrapping around the prior profile. This is suggesting that we get ready for some type of consolidating market out there, at least with regard to the S&P 500, at least with regard to the ES Mini. Now, if price closes below that profile, first, I won't know if this profile is going to stick or not until 6:01 this evening. Right now, we go with the data that we have. The data that we have says the profile is still there. So keep that in consideration. I will not be here on Thursday and Friday. We'll be here with you tomorrow. That'll be the last show for the week, and then back on Monday. Just had to do for a short trip up to Georgia. If we take a look at the NQ here, sorry. Have that ringing. Not much else for me to report there, really, for us. The Dow Equity Future Contract. So this actually has formed or is forming a new daily profile as well. Support at 43,834. Resistance 44,573. So this profile is forming below the prior profile. Directionally speaking, this is telling us about pressure to the downside, more of a bearish directional signal. Whereas, if we take a look at the profile for the Russell 2000, this is forming above the prior profile. In other words, I've got support at 2190, resistance at 2278. This is a bullish directional signal. What do you mean? How do we get a bearish directional signal on the Dow, bullish directional signal on the Russell 2000? You know what I say? I say I'm a wild and crazy guy. No, I say, and I do believe that, though, but what I say is that the profile in the ES Mini suggests a sideways consolidation. That's why we've got these two different signals in the Dow and the Russell 2000. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We come back from this breakout here. Let's go we just have a few requests that are in. Let's get to those. We're going to look at gasoline futures, DJT, Palantir, CFLT, and the SPY. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at the September contract for gasoline out here, and this is simply consolidating right now with inside its daily profile. Its daily profile has support at $2.07 a gallon. It's got resistance up at $2.11. That's within the profile. Above that, you'd have oscillator and change line resistance at about $2.13, and above that, TD9 count breakdown resistance at $2.16. All that coming from the daily time frame. The weekly time frame found support at its oscillator and change line. It is trading with inside its profile. That profile ranges from a buy zone between $1.97 and $2.01, and resistance being the top of its profile at $2.09, basically where we're trading right now. If we want to take a look at the season, many of you have heard this out here. We're in the summer season right now for gasoline. If we take a look at its seasonal cycle during this time of the year, we can see here, now this is a 19-year period of time that we've got. We can see that August, September, October, November, typically we see prices fall. In fact, prices typically fall. The seasonal pattern would be through the early part of December before they start moving higher, and they typically move higher into the end of July out there. So happy August. Gasoline prices should fall. That would be a wonderful thing out there. Of course, if gasoline prices are going to fall, so too should light sweet crude out there. But so that's what's going on now. If we take a look at it's only 19 years worth of data, so I don't really know that it's worthwhile for me to put this on a post-election cycle. This would be it, because we're only picking up really 4 data points. You know, this shows 5 data points, but really it's only 4 data points. 2025 isn't coming into play, so we won't spend much time there, GT. But there's your info on gasoline futures. Hope that helps you out, and thanks for following back up with me yesterday. Too late into the show when I got your message with regard to what you were looking for. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, Donald J. Trump's ETF out there, DJT. The question here is, where is the buy? Well, that's not it. Let's actually try to get to the proper ticker symbol. What does Stevie do? That's a pretty wild one. That is a very wild one. Well, maybe I put it here. I did. Okay. So Stevie screwed up. All right. So you're looking for a buy point. Today is going to become on a daily time frame, bar number 8 of a TD9 count. Let me open up just the daily time frame chart itself. It also shows that we are in wave number 7. That is letter G. Now, the way that pattern gets confirmed is a higher low out there. So that's one of the things that you'll be looking for to confirm that pattern if you want to trade that pattern. We're also in bar number 8. It's likely to complete bar number 8 today. In order to get a TD9 count bottom, tomorrow price must close below the close of bar number 5. As long as price closes below 1759 tomorrow, DJT will generate a TD9 count bottom. Now that pattern will then complete on Thursday. The low could be today, but the pattern itself low needs to form on bars 8, which we've got a bar number 8 low right now, 9, or the bar following bar number 9. And there's a few other things associated with it. It's not as simple as just that. Thirdly, there's a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that is present, and that requires a bullish reversal candle. The last time the DJT made a nice bottom out here was back on April the 7th when the market did. It confirmed its Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern on April the 9th out there. So those are the patterns that you have in place. Those are from the daily time frame. What's the weekly and the monthly time frame telling us? The weekly time frame shows that price is trading below profile support. It also looks like it's trading below a little bit of a trend line. Let's try to draw that trend line in here. Yeah, so it's broken through that trend line on a weekly time frame. So that's not necessarily good unless it can get back above that and back inside its profile. In order to do that, you'd need to see a close above 1772. The monthly time frame for DJT is suggesting, after forming a TD9 count top and after pulling all the way back to test its breakout level of 1256, it looks like it wants to go test that breakout level again. So is DJT getting ready to make a bottom? It has the bottoming signals. Got that wave number 7. Needs a higher low to confirm. Got bar number 8 of a TD9 count. Could or should form that bottom by Thursday of this week, and a bullish reversal candle would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. Those are what you're watching for out there in order to take a long trade in just a few shares. I would think, based upon what we're looking at on the weekly and the monthly time frame chart, that what the message is, at least at this moment in time, is that this would just be a counter trend move to the upside. Now, that counter trend move would first find resistance at around 1735-ish. That's its red oscillator and change line. And if price can overtake that, then you could get all the way up to the bottom of its profile, 1853. So I believe the weakness we're looking at on the weekly and the monthly time frame chart is telling you and I that this is most likely just a bit of a counter trend move out there. Now, that counter trend move may only last 2 or 3 days to the upside out there. So I hope that helped you out. And let's move on to our next request, which is to take a look at Palantir. This is Mike inside the Tiger's Den. Now, Mike went short Palantir. So what's the signal to potentially go short Palantir? Well, it could be an early signal to go short Palantir, but it has triggered wave number 7. That is letter G. What you need here is a lower high to confirm that pattern. Now, if you were to get that, Mike, that would be telling us that price would pull back to test support. So where's the first level of support on a daily time frame for Palantir? Turns out it's its oscillator and change line at 162 and change. Right now, it's around 162.40 or so. Below that, you'd be looking at profile support, 157.32. And below that, you would be looking for where did price find support on Friday, the bottom of its profile, 151.19. Am I seeing a top? I'm seeing the potential of a wave number 7 top. Is that enough to go short? Don't know the answer to that. What's the weekly time frame telling us? The weekly time frame, let's open this up, is strong like bull, trading above its green oscillator and change line, trading above profile resistance. This is telling us this wants to continue to move higher. We are in basically what I've got this at as wave number 4. Realistically. So can that be a top? Yeah, it can, but that in order to confirm needs a lower high as well out there. That couldn't be confirmed until next Friday out here. We just had a 4-week rally, a 1-week pullback, and we're rallying again out there. This is strong like bull on a weekly time frame. No two ways about it. And then when you take a look at the monthly time frame, which negated its TD9 count top immediately, in other words, it formed that, completed that May of 2025, 5. We took that out the very following month out there. There is no topping signal on the monthly time frame. So Stevie suggests that you're playing with dynamite here in going short Palantir. Just not really feeling the love to do that. But I could be wrong and am likely wrong. But right now, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly are really suggesting higher price. So I hope that helps you out, Mike. At least give that some consideration. After I get through some of the requests out there, or during a break, which we'll go to a break here, I'm going to put up the shorter term time frame charts for you in Palantir so you can see what's going on then. And if there's anything worth discussing, I'll come back and talk about it with the group as well. Let's take a look at the next request out here. We won't get to this entirely before the break, but that was a take of CFLT, which fell out of bed a couple of days ago. I don't see any kind of bottom signal on the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, or the monthly time frame. Nonetheless, let's talk about this and where it might be headed to. It passed a B point that had volume on a monthly basis of 107 million shares with 176 million shares. This is a monthly confirmed A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry about that. I thought I had this all set up here, Palantir, and I was looking at the wrong thing. In any event, I'm just going to go ahead and populate these charts here. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I thought I did, but did not. And so we're just looking at these intraday charts, see if there's anything here that we can assist Mike with. Really, what we're looking for is there any kind of a, what do we see with regard to intraday topping signals? And the only thing that shows up on my screen right now at this moment, well, there's really three things. The first one is you got a 15-minute TD9 count top. Price is trading below profile support. Profile support, 171.46. So what you're really watching for here is obviously today's gap. Would price find support at 170.19? If you trade below 170.19, stay with that short position. You have a sell the D point top on the 30-minute time frame chart. Price is trading with inside its profile. You have support at 169.78. Watch that like a hawk. If you close below that, that would be a positive thing. If that level holds a support, well, be careful. The 65-minute time frame chart has a wave number 7 top. It's likely going to go ahead and confirm that at 12 noon. And it has, or it's trying to form, a bear sash candle. It's only 2 minutes in, so... Oh, I'm sorry, this is a 65-minute chart, not 30-minute chart. This candle's going to close at 11:40, so 8 minutes from now, that would confirm a sell the D point top here. Now, support is down at 163.37. That's what I see with regard to Palantir, with regard to potential topping signals out there, but more importantly, that intraday support that you need to watch for being long that equity. So I hope that helped you out, and thanks for your request. Let's go take a look at CFLT. Let's continue to look at this for Duncan Steve. We identified a longer-term A to B equals CD pattern on the downside. The price projection is somewhere around $7.61. We're not seeing anything that's getting in the way of that unfolding. The weekly time frame had taken out a swing point that had 36 million shares. It did it last week with 100 million shares. So you've got A to B equals CD patterns to the downside. Again, you've got that price projection of about $7.61. Steve-O, so I hope that helps you out. You also want to look at the SPY. So let's pull the SPY up on our screen, see what kind of signals we get from it. The SPY on a daily time frame is consolidating with inside its daily profile. Steve-O, that's got support at 627.44, resistance zone of 629.93 to 631.18. The weekly has formed a new profile. You have support at 611.07. You've got resistance at 635.05. The monthly time frame, you do not have any kind of topping pattern. By the way, you don't have a topping pattern on the weekly. You do not have a topping pattern on the monthly time frame. You do have a TD9 count on the daily. That daily TD9 count pattern would fail with a close above 638.67. So that's what we see when we take a look at the SPY. Of course, with regard to the SPY, let's just simply come back and take a look at its seasonal patterns out here. For that, let's actually use the SPY. Let's do that. It's not going to have the same year's worth of data, I believe. Let's see here. What do we have? SPY is going to be able to give us 32 years worth of data. Do we want 32 years of data, or do we want 97 years worth of data? Stevie says 97. So let's actually go ahead and pull up the S&P 500 instead of the SPY. Hope that's okay with you, Steve-O. If it's not, I know you'll bop me upside the head. But here's at least 97 years worth of data. This is showing us where we are at today. And on a normal seasonal pattern, price would typically rally on average up through the beginning of September. And then we'd see a move lower into the October timeframe, usually the middle of October or the end of October. One of those two things. We know that September is the poorest month typically on average for the S&P 500. Now, that is the normal seasonal cycle. We also have the post-election seasonal cycle, and that one says we should have topped a few days ago. Well, Friday sure looked like a top out there, and we have not taken out those highs in any indice that I know of out there, so this is still potentially truly in a play out there. Now, this suggests, if this is the pattern that we are following, this suggests that we get a bottom bottom around October the 29th, and then we kind of bounce around through that, really through the middle of November before we start to take off, and that Santa Claus rally would kick in. Here you can see that August is a poor performing month on average over the 24 years worth of data, really, that we have to take a look at this. So which of the two patterns is in play out here? The answer to that question would be, well, if we take out the highs, if we negate the daily TD9 count tops because there's no weekly top, because there's no monthly top, then we're likely just on the normal seasonal cycle. At this stage here, though, because we do have that top that came in, that TD9 count top that went ahead and completed on July the 30th, we've got to say, that right now, the post-election seasonal cycle may take hold out there. It's got a lot of work in order for it to take hold. So, Dunk, hope that helps you out. Vic writes in and would like to take a look at UNH out there. UNH is doing the best it can to try to form a bottom. In order to do that, it is got a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. I think we took a look at this. I may have asked you to write back to me, which you did kindly, that because it could have formed or could be forming a TD9 count pattern. Looks like that is going by the wayside. Now, the way that doesn't go by the wayside is that tomorrow price spikes below the low of Friday, and that low is 234.60. So far, this being day number 2, I mean, it's possible. But what you really need out here for United Health is a bullish reversal candle on the daily time frame to confirm some type of Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. Other than that, I don't have a bottoming signal. The monthly time frame chart is in bar number 9 as well. So it could form a top or bottom, TD9 count bottom pattern as well. It could have already formed that bottom. Could have. I don't have that confirmation on the daily time frame, so I'm not saying that it has. Remember, the TD9 count series, the bottom needs to form, the low needs to form on bars 8, 9, or the bar following 9. So it's possible that UNH won't bottom until next month out there. So let's keep watching the daily time frame. What you're watching for here, Vic, is you're watching for either, again, a spike below Friday's low. That will trigger bar number 9. That will trigger a TD9 count pattern tomorrow, only tomorrow. Or you're looking for a bullish reversal candle. That's not likely to happen out here today. That's what you need for UNH. So I hope that helps you out. We've got No Spin who'd like to take a look at the U.S. dollar. No Spin, in order for me to take a look at the U.S. dollar index because of my data feeds, what I have to really do is look at 84% of the U.S. dollar index, which is made up of the euro, the yen, and the pound. If you take a look at the euro out here, in the case of the euro, I do not have any kind of a topping pattern. I don't really have any kind of a bottoming pattern out here. Here's what we do know. Price is trading below its oscillator and change line, but now back above its breakout level at $1.14. So with regard to the euro, where is it headed to? I don't know. It's traded in between those two areas out there. And not until it breaks one or the other, we really know what the euro's intentions are. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. So we couldn't really figure out what was going on in the euro, taking the daily time frame out there, really the daily, weekly, or the monthly, so to speak. So I went to this multi-time frame set of chart out here just see if we could find anything else. So look, on a monthly basis, there is this potential that it has formed a sell to D point top. It didn't make it all the way up to its T9 count breakdown level, which was really the one-to-one price objective. The one-to-one price objective was 119.22. We only got to a high out here of 118.30, and that was the July high. On a weekly time frame, what we don't have out here is a topping pattern other than, has this also formed a TD at a sell the D point top. It hasn't made that full extension out there, so kind of uncertain about that. The daily time frame, we've already talked about uncertainty. Now on a rally, price should rally up towards $1.16. That much I can share with you. And to the downside, it's really the lows from yesterday. On a 30-minute time frame chart out here, price has found resistance at its TD9 count breakdown area, $1.15. It is testing that same area, different TD9 count breakdown resistance level on the 60-minute time frame chart. So at 12 noon, another 17 minutes from now, if price closed below 1.1573, that level will have held. Got nothing on the 120, nothing on the 240, and nothing to really help us on the 5-hour time frame chart. So no spin. With regard to the dollar, and what the euro is going to do, which represents about 57% or so, it's really not helping us out a whole lot out there. And since that's such a big portion from a currency pair standpoint with regard to what the U.S. dollar is going to do, and I'm going to change screens now. We'll go back to that other chart that showed the that was pretty smooth, right? Usually I forget to do this, and I keep talking, and you got a blank screen, and you're like, well, Steve-O, what the Sam heck are you talking about? Well, now we're going to go on to the yen out here. The yen actually did form a sell the D point top. It was a clear A to B equals CD pattern there. Price remains below its oscillator and change line out here. We've got a one-day rally after a two-day pullback, no big deal. In this case here, the yen is suggesting that it wants to pull back to test its breakout area, and that's at $1.43 out here. So if that's going to move lower, it's going to get stronger, the U.S. dollar would get weaker. The Great British Pound did form a buy the D-point pattern, formed a nice bullish engulfing candle. This is going to be day number 3 of consecutive moves higher out there. Now, I would expect or anticipate that after a 3-day rally, this might pull back, but its price target happens to be up above, which is the red oscillator and change line. That's at $1.33. As the pound will move higher, the dollar would get weaker. So right now, you got the pound saying weaker in the dollar, the yen saying the same thing, and the euro really, all I can say is I don't know. That's the best that I can say. So no spin. Hope that helps you out. And thanks so much for your request. Yvonne writes in, and Yvonne would like to take a look at that Tesla. She's looking to add a few shares to her position. So let's try to go find Tesla. It might be here. Nope, that wasn't it. It might be here. Yep, there we go. All right, Yvonne. So let's get these charts up on our screen here. Tesla printing out at 307.28. That is trading. It is tested today the top of its daily profile. So resistance is held. Where's resistance? It's at 310.86. Where's support? It's the buy zone, 292.45 to 296.13. There's the area that you would like to add shares to your long trade of Tesla. That's assuming that price isn't pulling back with substantial volume. What would be substantial volume? Well, the swing point that is near that set of profiles comes from July 7th, 131 million shares. So preferably if price is pulling back with less than 131 million shares into that buy zone, that would be one place to consider adding to your position. The weekly time frame chart, it's trading below resistance. It's oscillator and change line, 319.41, and above support profile, the top of its profile, 270.11. Well, 270.11 would be another place to consider, but I don't want to go there because that would say we have busted through the buy area on the daily time frame. So the weekly, the weekly really doesn't come into play, Yvonne, unless the daily starts to fall apart out here. I don't have that signal. On a monthly time frame, really what we have here is Tesla is under resistance at daily, weekly, or monthly time frames out there. So let me give that to you again just to summarize. 314.46 on the daily, 319.42 or so on the weekly, and 315 on the monthly time frame. Those are your resistance levels above. That's why you'd certainly like to be able to buy this at a lower price. Now, the question is, will we get a lower price out here? So we just had Tesla do a 2-month retracement out there. And I don't know the answer to that question, Yvonne, but your buy zone is pretty easy. It's coming from the daily time frame, and I hope that helps you out. You also would like to add to your NVIDIA position. So let's go ahead and pull those charts up on our screen here. NVIDIA is trading out at, that was Tesla. The heck? How did I pull up Tesla twice? It's amazing what I can do, isn't it? It's amazing. I amaze myself. I don't know about you. But if we take a look at NVIDIA out here, we got NVIDIA right now, Yvonne, that is trading with inside its daily profile. That's a profile that formed on Friday. And that profile has support at 169.50 and resists at 180.23. Price tested and rejected the 180.23 yesterday. It's tested and rejected that level today. As Tommy O'Brien used to say, if you can't bust them to the upside, you bust them to the downside. So where's your level of support? 169.50. Where would you consider adding to your position? 169.50. What kind of volume does it need to be pulling back in that area to tell you that it's likely a good probability of a good trade? I would say that the level to be watching is going to be from the July 22nd swing point, which had volume of about 193 million shares. So, Yvonne, you want to see price pulling back with less than 193 million shares into that profile support level at 169.50. On a weekly time frame, we have no topping signal whatsoever. On a monthly time frame, we have no topping signal. Just kind of checking out this count here. I don't see a topping signal. Yeah, it's got the potential for wave number 7. That's it. It's got the potential, but nothing on the weekly. The daily does have a Rhodes momentum indicator top with that consolidation with inside its profile. So, Yvonne, that's right now 169.50-ish. Okay, you don't have to use it right to the penny, but that would be the area that I'd be watching for. So I do hope that helps you out. As always, thank you for your request out there. McGuppy is wants to take a look at Berkshire Hathaway. It did not perform well with regard to earnings, and in fact, what it did was it negated its daily TD9 count bottom. So it closed below the daily TD9 count bottom, which had its threshold level at 468.88. So that pattern is now gone. What pattern is present? Well, it's the second wave number 7 pattern. So the first one went ahead and formed on June 23rd. And now we have the second one. As long as you get a higher low today, McGuppy, you would have a daily wave number 7 bottom. So you are asking, is the weekly chart more important? And the answer to that question is absolutely now it is. Why? Because if you've got a wave 7 bottom, what you're looking for is the weekly TD9 count bottom to hold. And in order for that to do that, you need to see a rally and a close on Friday above 475.86. I take that back. Above 471.40. Let's make sure that I want to clearly make sure I gave you the right number. 471.40. That is the low of the TD9 count bottom pattern on the weekly time frame. That was from July 11th. If we close below that, I don't even care if we get a wave number 7. It's telling us that what Berkshire Hathaway wants to do is trade back towards the 441 to 448 level out there. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We're looking at that ticker symbol ASPN. I believe this is Aspen Aerogels on the daily time frame. This has a sell to D point pattern, I believe. Let's put in the A to B out here. Let's move this over to the C point. Let's check. It has attained that level. It's got, so Dan, in order for this to negate that signal, you need to see a close above the swing point from July 23rd out there. That had volume of 3.8 million shares. Today you're trading into with 877,000. So a little bit light in the loafers. Nonetheless, you're trading above resistance out there, so it should at least go test that high being $8.37. If you close above that, it negates the sell the D point top for the daily time frame. That is the only top that you have. What you're looking for on Friday is a close above 813, the top of its weekly profile. That would then indicate that we should get up to the top of the monthly profile, and that's at 1015. If we get above 1015, now at 1015, where did I come up with that? 860. So then above 860, then you're free to run to 967. That is the monthly oscillator and change line. So that's what I see when we take a look at ASPN. The last thing we're going to look at is natural gas. It's ugly and fugly out here. And natural gas has got a nice A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. On a weekly basis, if we close below $3, 3.007 to be exact, it'll give us an A to B equals CD pattern that's got a price projection of $2.30 out there. On the daily time frame, also has an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. There is no bottoming signal inside of natural gas. Why is that? Well, if we take a look at natural gas, it happens to have a seasonal cycle, and it's basically ugly. As soon as you get to July, it likes to trade lower. Trade lower through when? Basically, about the middle of January out there. So, Vic, I don't see any kind of bottom signals inside of natural gas, and seasonally speaking, it's not exactly the hot time of year. Well, it is pretty hot out there, but not for natural gas. Folks, have a terrific Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining me. Be safe out there, and remember this: the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 o'clock.